Every collection starts somewhere, and mine started with this Age of Ultron Hulk right here. Fast forward nearly a decade later, and now I have multiple Hulk characters in action figure form. And now with Captain America 4 introducing the Red Hulk into the MCU, I thought I would review all of my Hulk action figures that I own. Timestamps in description. Starting off with these two Age of Ultron figures, I'm grouping them together because they're basically the same figure, just a few paint app differences and two different head sculpts. But interestingly enough, these two figures are years apart. Like I said in the beginning, this original one was my first ever Marvel Legends figure. This is what started the collection. I remember being in Toys R Us with my dad and just looking for something else, and we decided to get this because we saw someone else picking it up at the checkout line. So we went back and decided to pick this one up, and that's where it all started. It really makes me wonder what would have happened if we didn't see that person at checkout. This figure has held up super well over the years. It's impressive that they decided to list this at the regular Marvel Legends price at the time, which was like 15 bucks, I think. Something you'd never ever see now. Anyways, this one has a glossy torso, oddly enough. The rest of the figure is kind of glossy, but you could tell that there's a texture difference, like even a color difference. It's always been like that. It's something that always kind of bothered me. Like there's more of a yellow hue to the arms and the other parts. Like I don't know, like a different type of plastic overall. Amazing figure, just apart from the torso and stuff. It's super cool to see that they improved it with this 10-year anniversary figure right here. It looks like it's the same material, and it also feels different, like straight up, because this one's like, you could see it's glossy, but it also feels super smooth. This one, they added texture for both the look and the feel, so it matches overall now, and it's more of a muted color, interestingly enough, but that's because this is supposed to be like the Scarlet Witch possessed Hulk. This is supposed to be the regular Hulk. But it's super cool to see that they fixed this figure years over and made this one, so that's really cool to me. The main differences, like I said, are the paint apps. You can see there's a more muted green all around. The pants are pretty much different. There's a Avengers logo right here, completely different colored pants as well. This one is more like dark overall. This one is lighter with black accents, and you can see that there's chest hair and veins painted all around. Face sculpt on both, super different. This one is a more, I wouldn't say relaxed, but just a more like regular angry Hulk. This one's a screaming Hulk with sunken eyes. Like I said, the Scarlet Witch did possess him at this point in the movie. Both super great figures. I'm really happy to see that they stuck with this mold because, you know, this is nostalgia, and to see it be improved in this way is really cool to me. So this is one of my more recent Hulk figures since it's the Select, but in chronological order, I guess it makes more sense to cover this one next. I did have the original Gladiator Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Hulk, but I don't know where it went. I think we sold it after we got this one. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, this one's way better in almost every way. Now, I'm not usually a fan of Marvel Selects just because I do stop motion animation and I need them to really move and also look good, and this one mostly just looks good. Like, that's a good thing, but it's also kind of like a statue, which could be good to some people, but like I said, for me, not so much. Due to it kind of looking like a seamless statue, that causes tight joints, as you could see and hear. So it's super hard to animate with, and also given that he has a shoulder pad here, not only is it stiff, but there's also something covering it. But if you're just displaying this, then obviously it looks great. Despite what I just complained about, I do prefer this one miles over the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure one. In terms of the proportions, the color, the size, the details, and the armor, everything's just way better because I remember the other one, in hindsight, it looked super stumpy. It had pretty dark green skin compared to what he should have had, but this one just looks better, and obviously that's what you'd want, I guess. And I do remember that the weapons on the Marvel Legends one were super flimsy because this one is solid. Like, there's no room for warping at all. Like, it's a solid piece of plastic. But the Marvel Legends one, I remember, would warp all the time. You know, I do have good memories of animating with that one. This one I have not animated with yet, and I don't see myself animating with it just because, you know, Gladiator Hulk stuff is done. But if I do, this would look great in an animation, just really hard to move. But other than that, awesome figure. Like I said, it's more of a statue, so in that regard, it's really amazing. This one is from the Avengers game that I did not play. I just thought it looked pretty cool in the store. It's very different from what we normally get for Hulks. I don't know why he has all these tattoos and stuff, but in terms of a gray Hulk, like a gray MCU-ish movie Hulk, this is the farthest we'll get for now, and I really do like it. I like it in terms of sculpt. Like I said, the tattoos are weird, but ignoring that, I enjoy it. It is the same sculpt from the Endgame Hulk that they released as a Build-A-Figure, which I will get to next. You know, I really like this sculpt for Hulk. I really just like this one with the idea idea that you can paint this green and it looks really cool. Like Leo Legendary did it and it looks awesome. It is something that I'm interested in doing, but I think I'll just keep it this way just because it's kind of a unique Hulk in my collection. The rest are pretty much green with just one red one. So, you know, having a gray one, it doesn't hurt. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is a skin in the game. I don't think he looks like this all the time in the game. Like I said, I didn't play it, and I don't think many other people did, to be honest. The detailing is really nice. Like, not only is there texture on the skin, but they also seem to have given the tattoo paint, like, some thought. Like, it looks like it's been hand-painted on by his giant fingers. Like, that's really a nice touch to me. And the head sculpt as well. It's a nice bearded Hulk look. And Leo Legendary did mention in his video that, you know, if you were to paint this green, it kind of just looks like Edward Norton's Hulk with a beard. So, I think that's a really cool way to look at it. Yeah, the beard makes it look really unique, especially if painted green. Looks really nice. So if you want to do that for yourself, go for it. I think it just looks visually cool, but like the idea of having a gray Hulk with tattoos, it's kind of weird, but you know, there are customization possibilities. If this was green by default, it would be my favorite Hulk in my collection, honestly, just because I feel like the one that they released for Endgame is kind of like a boring one. Like, I'll get to that in a second when I get to that figure, but this is like the aggressive Hulk that we like, and it's on a sculpt that I personally like. That's the only reason I personally enjoy this figure.
But the radiation's mostly gamma. It's like I was made for this.
Once again, I'm going to group two movie figures again together. Even though these are two pretty different figures, they are from the same movie, so I might as well do it. And also, I barely have anything to say about this one since it's the same as the Outback Hulk, like I just said, so I'll start off with that one. So this one, like I said, has the same exact sculpt, and obviously Hasbro did not give us all these cloth goods. My dad actually bought this off of eBay from somebody a while back to mimic how he looked in the movie, which is how I think Hasbro should have done it in the first place, because, you know, he was not really the regular Hulk look. He was only, like, shirtless for, I don't know, less than 10 minutes is what it felt. So I feel like they should have made this, but it makes sense for marketing purposes and the secrecy that they wanted to keep at the time. But either way, it's cool that my dad was able to find something like this. It fits great. I don't know who sold it to us, but you know, they did a great job. The pants look great. The stitching's all in the right places. There's even a Velcro on the pants and some hoodie strings to really add some realism to that. So that's really cool. They've held up really well after all these years. I mean, I haven't really moved it around since I didn't really make an Endgame stop motion. But as for the actual figure itself, the head sculpt's all I could really talk about since that's really exposed. It's pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie, this head sculpt. You know, it does make sense. It's just a regular stern look for Hulk because this is the smart Hulk. It's not supposed to be like anger or anything. It's just Bruce Banner and Hulk's body. But you know, to be fair, it looks pretty good. It has good likeness, but the expression is very boring for a Hulk, but it does make sense. They did add the gray sides to the hair, so that's a nice detail, but for the expression, pretty boring. But I do prefer this head over that one, which I'll get to right now. As for this Hulk, dude, he looks like Frankenstein. Like the color and the face sculpt is not good at all on this one. This is the Marvel Select Professor Hulk from Endgame, obviously. It has the clothing and the gauntlet from when he snapped. That is not a good head. Like, it looks like him fairly, but the eyes just make him look so tired or like even high almost. Like, I don't even know. Like I said, the color is very drowned out. He literally just looks like he drowned. Like, yeah, he needs to breathe. But as for the body and the gauntlet though, everything is pretty good. There's really good sculpting all around found on the suit, which is very much appreciated. The colors are not desaturated like how the head and the hands look. Really nice purple and gray and blacks found all around. It's like they didn't miss a single detail from the movie. And even at the shins and the knee pads, they put all that detail into there. As well as the Infinity Gauntlet, it looks amazing. It looks just like it's out of the movie. Great amount of detail there, and it even did come with regular arm for the Smart Hulk in case you want to pose him without the Infinity Gauntlet. But like I said earlier with the Gladiator Hulk, this is a Marvel Select, so the articulation is kind of lacking. It's really nice for display, but the articulation here is definitely better just because there's not much covering it like how it is on the Gladiator. I love the texturing and the detailing on this one. This one has a better face sculpt and skin color overall. I feel like this one's just so desaturated and he just looks so bored. Like, I know this one looks bored as well, but at least he has some stern look. This one, I don't even know. But, you know, Select did a great job on the body and the Infinity Gauntlet overall. I just wish that Marvel Legends had their take on that Hulk or even this Hulk to begin with. But it's pretty cool that you can get these clothes off eBay, and it's pretty cool that Marvel Select even made this in the first place. Moving away from Bruce Banner, we have this comic gray She-Hulk. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the first She-Hulk that Hasbro released in recent years. I'm not sure what look this is mimicking, but it is a very unique look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm unfamiliar with it, and I kind of like it, kind of don't. I wish that they went with an original, like, classic She-Hulk look for their first figure, but that's alright. Now, since this is gray, and my only other gray Hulk I have is the Outback one, I think that these two look great together. You know, she does have more of a green tone to her gray. This one's, like, gray. If they matched this this would look awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Even though this is a comic and this is a more realistic take, I think it looks pretty cool. In terms of the sculpting, you know, it's a female figure, so the articulation's not gonna be the best. I don't know why they decided to lack on that, but it is what it is. You know, single jointed elbows, really nothing in this section except a diaphragm joint. But in terms of sculpting though, really nice. The jeans have a lot of detail on them for being a comic figure. I am more of a movie figure collector because there's more room for detail, but like I said, good sculpt here, just lacking in paint. I think this would look sick as black jeans, I'm not gonna lie, with the gray going on, because it's kind of just like all over the place with the colors. Bright green, the dark greenish gray, got the light blue. I'm not sure, I'm not a big fan of the color choices, but the head sculpt, very angry. I don't really like the green lipstick on her and the full green eyes, but I guess it adds to the look. I kind of wish they went with like a dark gray for the lips. Just maybe an idea for repaint in the future, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, since I'm not too familiar with the look from the comics, I don't really have much to say, but in terms of a figure, it's alright, I'm not gonna lie. I just wish they made better color choices, but like I said, if that's based on the comic, that's based on the comic.
Come on!
Here we have another She-Hulk. This time it's the one from the Disney Plus series that everybody absolutely loved. But yeah, I think despite hating the series, I think this figure is actually pretty good. Like, it actually has double jointed elbows for once, which is pretty cool. Like, it looks kind of awkward, but you know, it's cool that they finally added it. So that already makes it better than the one I just covered. And I thought that the jumpsuit that they gave her in the series was actually a pretty good take, like a good modern take on the original She-Hulk costume. I think it translated well into the action figure form. Very good texturing all around the jumpsuit. As you can see, there's like a rib pattern down the middle. It's pretty smooth on the side. There's some honeycomb texturing on the top side. You know, there's a great attention to detail. It's pretty accurate to the show, I think. The rest of the figure is kind of just smooth considering it's her skin, just all around, and then the shoes. The head sculpt looks pretty close to the actress or the 3D model, whatever you want to call it, that they use from the show. The hair has similar green highlights to the one I just covered before this, so I think that's a nice touch as well. And also, I never really realized how green she is compared to other Hulks. Like, she is green. Like, putting her next to this Bruce Banner, like, yeah, he's like a dark green, but she's like a saturated lime green almost. Like, it reminds me of like a key lime pie or something. But yeah, I guess it goes with the super saturated purple as well. It just fits overall, which I really like. I honestly like it way better than that really desaturated Marvel Select I had earlier. So no, this one's not too bad. I just wish the show was better so I could appreciate this figure more, but it's cool to have this, you know. Speaking of saturated figures, we have the comic Red Hulk. Now, I did get this years ago because I know that they did recently re-release this in anticipation for Captain America 4. This was a Target exclusive, I believe. But yeah, like I said, this is the original release, and I've had this for a few years. Yeah, like I said, this is the original release, but regardless, new or not, this is one of my favorite Hulk figures that I have. I did just mention that I'm more of a movie collector, but something about this sculpt just really suits the Red Hulk. Like, I feel like this suits Red Hulk more than it suits the Green Hulk, which is why I wanted to get this one so bad. Now, I don't have another comic Hulk to base this off of because I know that this is just a repaint of another one. I'm pretty sure it's a repaint of some green one that they did and a gray one for the regular Hulk. But seeing this on the Red Hulk, like I said, I just think it suits him way more since he's supposed to be like better, stronger, whatever. I think it just looks really nice on him. And like I said, since I haven't had a comic one, I can't really treat this as a repaint. Either way, the head sculpt is really nice. It looks like it's filled with rage. It's just awesome, very expressive. The jeans, nice detailing. Once again, I'm pretty sure it's just a black repaint of the regular purple that they give the Hulk. All around, it's just red plastic pretty much. But I think there's some yellow or orange hue going on his chest. I'm not sure if that's intentional. That's just like old paint or something. I'm not entirely sure, but that is something I noticed. And as for the sculpt, like I said, really well done. I'm a huge fan of it, only on Red Hulk. Like I said, if this was green, I don't know if I'd like it as much. But yeah, what's really cool to me is that they have butterfly joints and a waist swivel as well, instead of just a diaphragm joint, because most of the Hulks that I own, like you saw in this video, only have diaphragm joints or something. So I think it's cool to have a figure that's like that. As you can tell, this is one of my favorite ones. I am recording this way in advance of the Captain America 4 movie coming out, just because I have school and everything. I have to stockpile videos. But if by the time you guys see this video and they've announced an MCU Red Hulk figure, I hope it looks really cool, because this comic one already looks great, but who knows for sure, because this one is a really good figure. This is one of my favorites, definitely, despite it being a comic figure. It's just that good in my opinion. Anyways guys, that is all of my Hulk figures. Kind of have them all here in one shot. Kind of hard to put all these giant figures together. I know I'm missing a lot of Hulk figures that Hasbro has released over the years, and also Marvel Select, you know, whatever. That's a lot of figures, but I do have a decent amount of them, so I thought it'd be fun to show them off in a video like how I did for Deadpool, especially before the red one makes his debut in the MCU. So yeah, let me know which Hulk figures you guys own for yourselves and which ones you guys want if you don't have it already. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.